Welcome to the Truth Unfiltered with Miss Pamela Reaves and Sandy Lewis. Miss Pamela Reaves, let's introduce yourself today. We're on our first episode, and aren't you excited about this?
Yes, I am. I am so excited to be with you, Sandy, and so excited to finally get a chance to communicate with our viewing audience. I am Pam Reaves. I am the CEO of NELLA LLC. I wear many hats. And so under that umbrella, I am a published author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur. And that's who I am, and I'm still evolving.
Yes. All right. And I am Sandy Lewis. I am a biz strategist, and also I am one of the facilitators for the Push to Dream Network Society of the World, and launching the Push to Dream University for all of us that needs help and assistance in furthering our entrepreneurship and doing the things in life that we were called to do. And also, I am so delighted to be with Miss Pamela Reaves to embark on this new show that she and I created and we came up with. So Pam, it's so much going on in the world. So I don't know where to begin, but we're going to begin tonight talking about, like we mentioned it to our audience when we got ready to start this, we're going to talk about first, the truth unfiltered, how it affects us in our daily lives. So, and it's so important to have the truth unfiltered told the way we need, so that we can be better people. So
yes,
let's begin. Let's start here.
Oh, yeah. Sandy, that was a great idea to start with that. You think you know a little bit of everything, but when you go to do research, you just find out so much more. Mm-hmm. And I think just in some of our experiences and the people that we know, we have seen the effects of a lie in their lives. But I will tell you, when I started to do research, mm-hmm. I was, just learned so much more about what the effects, the damage that a lie does. I think sometimes we just think in terms of relationships and a broken heart, right. But actually there are some really, some real effects on the body, on the mind, mm-hmm. The devastation that a lie can actually do to the lives of people. And as I said, I was doing a lot of research. So throughout this, I'll be just sharing some of the things, some tidbits. Yeah. But this one thing that I was reading, let me read this, share this. According to Dr. Arthur Markham, PhD, the very second the lie leaves your lips, your body releases cortisol into your brain. Wow. Just a few minutes later, and your memory goes into overdrive, trying to remember both the lie and the truth. Decision-making becomes more difficult, and you could even project your discomfort as anger. This is all in the first 10 minutes. Wow. So all of that can happen within the first 10 minutes after a lie leaves your lips. Something actually happens to your body. Yeah. But one of the things I found so amazing about this is that you're not just leaving. We think when a person tells a lie that they're just dismissing the truth. Mm-hmm. But according to this, that's not the case. Mm-hmm. You are actually now burdened with the lie as well as the truth. So there's this internal battle now that you've elevated your stress level, because now you're not only dealing with the lie, but you still have to deal with the truth.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And it makes sense. And I can understand it from a science perspective now, because when like you said, you already battling with the truth, it's not sexy. It may not be what you want to hear and know, but when you tell that lie, you've compound that. Yeah. Yes. And it's oh my, wow.
Yeah. And, I think also I read something about the heart rate increases,
Yes.
your stress level, so all of these things are going on in your body.
In our bodies.
And you may feel that, I'm getting away with something by telling this lie. You're not only damaging the other person, but you're doing probably irreparable harm to yourself, especially if it's going to be habitual lying.
Yes.
Of course, in the research you find articles about, your social niceties, if someone says, am I too fat? You may tend to say, oh, no, not really. So that's a difference. There are, none of us are perfect. And we do, probably tell an untruth, here and there.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is when lying not only ruins your life, not only damages you, but those around you and what you are doing to yourself, in that lie.
Yes. And I was listening, earlier, for some reason, I ran across a video myself doing some research. There was a show one time on Oprah, and this lady, her husband just dropped dead in the house, and she was in the other room, where she didn't find out until after he was deceased, that he had 5 other women that he was seeing.
Yeah.
So here again, he probably dropped dead with a heart attack or whatever. So so here again, it caused him, she was just shocked that he had passed away. I mean, like she was just in the other room, and she said she heard something clunk, and it was him. He passed, he was dead by the time he got to the hospital.
And she knew nothing about
the other women.
And so get this. And so if she didn't know that, he probably felt that he was getting away with the lie, that he was pretty good and sort of like, in coordinating all of these relationships.
Right.
But the toll that it was taking on this man,
body,
that it probably cost him his life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if we could have a conversation with him, he would say that it was not worth it.
Yeah.
So in a lot of cases, it's not worth it, and you consider what this is doing to you mentally as well as physically, and to everybody who is a part of your lie.
Yes. Exactly.
As I said, she didn't know about it. So the chances are and if there were 5 of them involved, he probably believed that he had become pretty good at the game.
Yeah.
And one not even considering or just unaware of what it was doing to him.
Yes.
To be running game with 5 women.
Yes, of course. And I think one of the women was her friend, and her child would be when she discovered it, her child was at one of the ladies' house that he was seeing, and it was one of her neighbors or so-called friends. So it was, that was just one of the women. And the other women, some of them one lived in Australia. They didn't live in the proximity of them,
right,
per se, but yes, it was, it took a toll on his body. Absolutely. It really did. And, just think about, they always say on Monday mornings is the time when a lot of people will have heart attacks and stuff like that. Well, I mean, I know stress has something to do with it too, but I think a lot of them are lying to themselves, and they're happy, they're happy on their jobs. And Monday morning, all of this stress comes because they're lying to themselves about they don't really want to be there at work, or they don't want to be at their job. And guess what happens? They get ill, so I think that could have some correlation to it too as well. What you think about that?
Well, with respect to the workplace and getting sick because you don't want to go. Because, I was reading another article about this woman who said that just the thought of this one particular thing made her puke. And, the individual who wrote the article was talking about, that may sound like that's just someone just making a comment.
Right.
But that's probably true, because just think when your body becomes tense, you don't digest food.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't sleep well.
Yeah.
So you're dealing by Monday morning. If you have built up all of this frustration,
exactly,
and not in sleep deprivation, not digesting your food, well, you will become sick. You know, you will become sick, and just depression or not. If let's say if it's a hostile environment. A few years ago, I worked at a company, a real estate company, and I didn't like it. And actually, and one of my counterparts, she didn't like it. So we had lunch together, and we used to talk about how even Friday evening, knowing you were going to get the next 2 days off, is that, you know, by Friday evening, we were so happy. But by that Sunday, the depression started.
Oh, wow.
And that we both said, get this, the more beautiful the day was that Sunday, the sadder we became.
Really?
And I guess it was probably the subconscious thought of having to go back into this environment that we didn't like. Now, if you think we were bad, we were talking to, then we brought another woman into the conversation, and we were talking about how by Sunday afternoon, our, you know, spirits started to decline. We started to get, you know, really upset. Well, this woman said that Sunday, she says, on Fridays, it started for me.
Wow.
So she didn't even get a break. But get this, but because all of us probably had been in the corporate environment for so long, there's no way we would allow anyone when we got back into the office to know what we were going through.
Oh, no, no.
So in a way, that's suppressing a lie.
Yeah.
That's living an untruth. And it was taking its toll on us. And all of us eventually left the company. But we had to, you know, because that environment just wasn't for us. And so in essence, we were living a lie. And it was robbing us of the joy even when we were out of the environment.
Exactly.
So that lie can follow you.
Yeah.
You know, once you would think, okay, once you leave that atmosphere, you're okay.
Yeah,
but no, it can, you know.
Because you had to go back into it, because you you had to go back into it in the next 3 or 4 days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in a situation like that, how many people may be in an environment they don't like, an environment that's hostile, an environment where they don't get anything out of, and they have to live this life because the paycheck is good.
Yeah.
The benefits are good. See, sometimes we are forced into precarious situations. And so what becomes most important? Do I step into my truth and walk away from this salary? Or do I keep living the lie to get the money?
Yeah.
You know, there's so many questions that we have to ask ourselves. So many ways lies can impact our lives.
Exactly.
And so, as I said, you know, that's a dilemma that a lot of people could be faced with.
Yeah.
You know, do I live this lie that may pay me financially, but I pay a price
later
with my health?
Yeah, with your health. Yeah.
Yes.
Your health. You're going to pay it later. And you don't want, and you don't.
And that's when you must go to your truth.
That's right.
You know, stand in your truth. What is your truth?
Yes.
And is your truth worth you walking away from something that may be monetarily rewarding, but not rewarding in any other part of your life?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, how can we, you know, by you saying that, Pam, what do you think? How can we stand in our truth and not put ourselves in those predicaments that we just gonna need to be somewhere where it's gonna be, you know, either it's gonna affect our livelihood, you know, it's gonna affect us monetarily.
Well, since we're talking about jobs, I'm gonna speak to that. It's a process. And what I would say is that we can start that process long before something like that happens.
Yes.
If we can start that process by developing ourselves, by tapping into ourselves, seeing what our gifts and our talents are.
Yeah, I agree.
And not be one-dimensional.
I agree.
You know, develop yourself in so many ways. And I like to say well-rounded, but that can mean different things to different people. And then, Sandy, when you come upon a situation in your life, you do have alternatives.
Yeah.
You can step into your truth. The truth is, I'm not happy here. The truth is, I'm actually living a lie just to save face.
Yes.
But the truth also is that I am multi-talented. I have interest in other areas. And so I can redirect my energies and go to something else.
Yes.
That I'm not one-dimensional and I have to stay stuck in this lie.
Yeah.
So that's what we can do. We can start preparing ourselves for challenges long before we face the challenge.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, we can. I remember when I was very young, Sandy, I used to job hop. You know.
Did you?
Yes. And you and
you out there job hopping now.
Yeah,
Raise your hand.
I used to job hop. And one of the reasons were, and it wasn't even a lot going on, Sandy. It was just that I would tell myself that I am marketable. I can do anything I want. So if I didn't like the direction, one job, it was because I didn't like the parking arrangements. So I said, I'm leaving. Another job.
She didn't like the parking arrangement.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Another job, I was there 2 weeks. I didn't like the building. The building was old. So I was like, I'm leaving. You know, and so that's what I mean when I say you can start preparing yourself to deal with a lie long before it impacts you.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, we have to start, you know, developing ourselves so that we are always proactive rather than reactive. Of course, you know, the unforeseeable will always happen.
Absolutely.
But I would say, you know, the more we prepare ourselves to deal with lies, see, don't hide in the sand and say a lie will never impact me. Yes. I will never tell a lie. I will never get caught up in a lie because that's just not reality.
It's not true.
But what we can do as we live our lives is to develop ourselves in a way that we can meet a challenge.
Yes.
You know, that we do, even with confidence, to know that if I am faced with a lie, let's say it's a lie in a relationship and you find out that guess what? I am secure enough in myself that I can walk away from this.
Yes.
Now I won't live this lie. Yes. And I will be all right.
Yes.
I may hurt. I may go through something. And that's life. You know, we are, you know, when you have a heart, when you invest yourself in it, but you don't have to stay in a lie if you've been all along preparing yourself. See, that's one of the things about our discussions, like the Truth Unfiltered, because we will be talking about the benefits, the rewards of the truth.
Exactly.
We will be talking about what a lie does. Like tonight, we started talking about what it does to the body. So a viewing audience that listens to what it does to the body, that man or woman, you know, hopefully this will resonate with them and they will go away from this episode with knowledge about what a lie does to me in my body. Even can consider, if we talked about being overwhelmed and stressful and heart rates raising and blood pressure, maybe a man or a woman, a light of understanding will go on and he or she will understand what that lie is doing to another person.
Exactly.
You know, it's just not something that I spoke and went out of my mouth and we get past this lie, get us past this and we can move on. Maybe that person, the more they become educated about what lying does and its long-reaching effect, they will reconsider.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we want the truth, and that is the truth unfiltered. That you're lying or dealing with a lie or living in a lie.
Yes.
It has dire consequences.
It does. It does.
Don't take it lightly.
Yes. Because in a relationship, like you said, you're fooling yourself if you don't deal with that lie. You rather hurt now or hurt later, because that lie is going to, just like she said, it's going to snowball and it's going to keep going, and then you're going to have to deal with it, and the consequences may be a little bit rough on you later, because instead of you dealing with
yes, because you know how women, I mean, we like to look pretty, we like to look like we're healthy. Well, you know, I know, you know, and growing in my life, I've known women who have suffered in relationships, and it took its toll on their body.
Yes.
And, you know, and they may, you know, look older than they actually are, but she probably has gone through so much, you know, living a lie, knowing it's a lie, and some feeling stuck, like I can't get out. You know, because maybe, guess what? The lie became so compounded that it became difficult to figure a way out.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been living this lie for so long, and living a lie is probably in a way, something like a death. You know how death have all of these different stages. But you know, living a lie is probably similar to that. You know, sometimes you convince yourself it's not a lie. Sometimes you will strike out at others who tell the truth, and the truth just triggers something in you. But all the while, as I said, there's a reason why it ultimately affects your physical appearance. It's because it is really doing all of this stuff to you internally. I know I have been guilty sometimes of saying, well, did she let herself go? Or, you know, well, guess what? Now doing this research, I have more information. Maybe he or she is suffering from hypertension.
Yes.
Maybe he or she is suffering from sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
And so we have to be very careful about speaking on someone else's life when we don't know the backstory.
Exactly.
You know, because as we are learning more what lies will do, they will ultimately kill you.
They really will. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And they, you know, and I think I was just thinking of how much medication maybe need to research that, like how much medication we're taking. And if we deal with those lies, we probably wouldn't have to be taking as much medication.
Right. Because I mean, that's a coping method. You know what I mean? Even the drug use is a coping mechanism. You know, if the truth is so ugly, you know, as human beings, we're going to try to survive in some way. And for some people, they may think, you know, well, if I'm taking drugs, then it wipes or it clouds me. Things become so cloudy, I don't have to deal with the lie. You know, I think, you know, I've said this a lot. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it always heals. Because once you face the truth, you'll go through that hurt, you know, but that won't last.
It has healing power.
Yeah.
Because the body is not going through all of that.
That's right. You know, you have go through it. Be willing to hurt, because that kind of hurt won't last if you're in the healing process. But that kind of hurt that you encounter, that you experience just because you stay in something, that's only going to get worse. That is going to work. So a lie is not worth it. You know, that a lie is not worth it. If it's going to cost you your mental as well as your physical health, that lie is never worth it. And really, when we are dealing with those who lie to us and we know it and we have to address them, you know, sometimes I'm one of those people. I believe in candor, and I will, you know, have no problem. And I would encourage others who don't know how to deal with it, just say what it is.
Yes.
This is not worth it.
Yes.
This lie is not worth it.
Yes.
It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. And so we need to fix it, or we need to resolve it or dissolve it, but a lie, it's never worth it. And we have to start standing and not make this just a cute little saying, but standing in our truth, standing on that truth.
Yes.
Because the truth flows, as this doctor says, the moment, that lie is out, it releases cortisol into your brain. And then your stress level, your heart rate, and your heart rate, as well as it was something else, as well as your pressure starts to rise immediately. And you're not only consumed with the lie, but as well as the truth. When you thought you were running away from the truth, you didn't, because according to this expert, the lying, now you have to deal with two things, because you have to always deal with the truth, because you have to be in this perpetual state of trying to hide that.
Exactly.
I saw something else, but I love that. It said the truth is a mind at ease.
I like that.
Yeah, a truth is a mind at ease. So when we hear people talking about, and I know I speak of this, about just wanting this peaceful existence, especially at this part in my life, this stage in my life, well, you get that with the truth. That's a mind at ease.
Because a lot of times, whether people tell the truth or not, when they really have to be faced with the truth and it has to come out, it's a sigh of relief.
Yes.
And that's what you're saying. It's a sigh of relief. You be like, some people may not admit it is a sigh of relief, but it's like, whew, now you're not as tense because everything is out in the open. You don't have to hide anything, like you said.
Right.
It makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And see, you know what? And see, blackmailers, they know that as long as you're afraid of the truth, they can hold it over you. Wow. As soon as you stand up to it, all of a sudden you neutralize them.
Just like, perfect example. Just like a lot of people say, I'm going to tell my story before you tell it. So you can't do nothing to hurt me because I'm going to tell it anyway.
Yes.
A lot of celebrities, a lot of people, especially if they feel like it's something in their past that they don't want any passes, they don't want anybody to know. And then somebody say, I'll tell your story. Yeah. And then like you say, I'm going to tell it first. So you're not going to get a chance to,
Right.
Tell
right.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago, do you remember when Fantasia had that little, thing in her life? I think it was a man, he was married to someone.
I think so.
And as it came later on, is that the wife knew about it and they were holding that over her head.
Wow.
And, all of us make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We all do things, and been in relationships we shouldn't have.
Exactly.
But just think how, she really was traumatized about that coming out. But look at her now. Once that was behind her, it did not destroy her career. She went on to bigger things. Yeah, but as long as they held that over in that short period when that first came, the news break, she was just destroyed. She was destroyed. And, at that point, when you caught up, you're not thinking about, well, everybody else got some mess with them too. So who were they to judge? But as I said, once that was over, then she had this mind, as the scientist said, the truth is a mind at ease, and I said, but that's what a blackmailer does not want you to have that. And if you notice, they'll just keep, for as long as they can, they'll keep threatening to expose the truth instead of telling it.
Yeah. Because with a mind that's not at ease, boy, look at here. You can get them to do all kind of things.
That's right. So a blackmailer, like I said, if you stop and think, It's just this, they keep threatening. I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell, I'm going to tell. Well, guess what? If you were that hell bent on telling, you would have told. The blackmailer knows that they're holding that over your head because you are fearing the truth.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, and fear does come to visit all of us. But what I do say with people who are empowered, you don't, you know, you don't pretend that you've never been fearful of anything.
Right.
But I will tell, you know, our viewing audience is that when you're fearful, the thing to do is have the audacity to stand up to it. Have the audacity to stand up to it. You will diffuse that situation right then. You know, if your truth is shameful, remember that what does the Bible says? We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That's all of us.
Yeah.
And so you're not by yourself in your mess. You're not by yourself not doing the right thing. But the truth, that truth really, what that saying will set you free.
Yes.
That is really the truth.
It really is.
That is really the truth, because going back, the truth is a mind at ease, you know, as well as a heart, you know, because you calm down. You calm down. And so we must commit to the truth unfiltered.
Yes. And that is the truth will set you free, is in John 8:32.
Yes.
Yeah. John 8:32.
So we have reminders all over around us about the necessity of truth.
Exactly.
You know, the necessity of truth. That a lie is so damaging. I mean, look at in the political arena what happened last year about the big lie, and that's still causing damage. You know, and there are some people who really believe the big lie, and there are some people who just want to believe the big lie. But we have to understand, as I said, it's just not out there moving parts, but it's actually doing things to our bodies as well as our minds. And no lie is worth your mind or your body, your life. No lie is worth that.
Yeah, that's true.
No lie is worth that.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I agree. Yeah. And I think that's some good research that you did today. It really is good.
Yeah. Just to break it down, you know, because a lot of times, even sometimes when we have lived lies, you know, Sandy, a lot of times we think, well, I went through a lot, you know, and I got through a lot. But what was the price? You know what I mean? What did you carry? Exactly. What did it take when you were able to stay in that lie, even if you weren't the liar and you knew you were being lied to? Well, I would venture to say the same thing that happens to that body who lied, it happens to the person who is the recipient of that lie.
Exactly.
When you know that you're in a relationship and it's a lie or the other person is lying, I'm sure you have an increase in heart rate. Yeah. I'm sure you have an increase in blood pressure.
Yes.
I'm sure that you're juggling with the lie and the truth. You're juggling with all of this stuff, trying to handle both.
Yeah. And you can't concentrate. You can't get anything done. You can't be all that you were created to be with that kind of, I don't care what people say. You can fake it all you want to, but you'll miss opportunities and you just won't be at your full capacity. Your full potential will not be released.
Sandy, that's an awesome point you just made. That's an awesome point, because let's take that into the area of being an entrepreneur.
Right.
And if you have this toxic relationship, living this lie, and as you said, we're juggling so much, your focus is not on your business. You know, you can't do but so much. And, you know, we all want to present ourselves in our best light in our
Exactly.
businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have all of this trauma back there, you know, that's added pressure.
Yeah.
So once again, that lie that's supposedly in another part of your life, it has found its way into your entrepreneurial journey.
Yes, it has.
And I would venture to say none of us would think that that was worth, you know, we're living something that's not the truth. Mm-hmm. We're living a fallacy. Yeah. But it is really impacting my ability to make money, to feed my family, to care for my family, to have the quality of lifestyle that I desire. I truly can't have it all because I have this lie that has all of these tentacles and is reaching in every part of my life. Yes. That is not worth it.
Yes. Yeah. Sure isn't. So I think that's beautiful. You have anything else you want to bring forth to us, and we're going to wrap it up today.
Well, you know what? I've enjoyed this so much. The time has gotten away from us, but I would just say to our viewing audience, remember that a lie never stands and the truth forever stands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And as I would say in my quote, the truth is like eternity. It will always be here. It'll always be there. It'll always be here. The truth is not going anywhere, but we'll be all over the place.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Your mind, body, and spirit. Absolutely. It pays to tell the truth. The truth unfiltered. We're going to have some good topics to talk about. So if anybody wants to, have a subject that they want us to talk about, we will definitely be glad to explore it and talk about it. So put your request in the comments. And also we will definitely be going live. We're going to do these first few. We're going to do them pre-recorded, and then we'll do the rest on live eventually. We'll let you know. We'll give you a heads up when we do it. Right, Pam?
Right.
Yes. So we'll do that. Well, all righty. We're going to sign off until we do our next episode. And it will probably, how often are we going to do them apart? You think? How often do you want to do them apart? Once a week or probably?
Well, we could do bi-weekly, we could do monthly, but our viewing audience, tell us how often you would like. You know, we're going to respond to the the clients, the viewers' demand.
Okay.
You know, we will do that. You know, and as we said, we invite you to bring up topics at some point. You know, just feel free to put your comments in because they are of tremendous value. We are all getting through this together, and we're learning the benefit of the truth, and we're going to deal with the truth unfiltered from this day forward.
Yes. Well, all righty. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks for joining us.